I'm pleased to welcome Pennsylvania's Governor, Tom Wolf, to our legislative summit. Governor Wolf was sworn in as Pennsylvania's 47th governor in January of 2015, and in July of 2019, he signed HB 1172, which made Pennsylvania the second state after Arizona to enact a typical universal recognition. Governor Wolf, it's a pleasure to welcome another political science PhD, and I will open the floor to you.
Thanks, Laura. It's good to be here. So you have a PhD too in political science. That's great. Well, I really appreciate being able to be here, and I think this is really an important topic. We're all working diligently to try to work through this and manage this pandemic. But one of the things that we found is that the record-breaking levels of unemployment have just been magnified by the things that we're trying to address here. Right now, more than ever, it's more important to make sure that we're making it easier for Americans to get to work, not make it harder. There's already enough barriers and roadblocks. So that means we have to take full account of all the challenges that Americans face when they go out to look for work. And we have to find ways to remove those barriers for people that are trying to support themselves and their families. So unfortunately, many of the occupational licensure laws, which, as you know, are outdated, and they don't really take into consideration the interconnected nature of our economy or the real challenges that they pose for people who really, we need to do this as a jobs bill. This is really important, and that's why I made occupational licensure a priority in my administration. In 2017, as you say, the second state after Arizona, I signed an executive order directing Pennsylvania's Bureau of Professional and Occupational Affairs to review the Commonwealth's professional licensing process. And I advocated for a series of reforms based on the Bureau's recommendations. Then it was 2019, officially, I guess we became the second state. The General Assembly acted on the first of these recommendations, and that is licensure portability. Our legislature understood the importance of making it easier for new residents who are already trained and licensed in other states to receive a license to work here in Pennsylvania. And we also wanted to make sure that we were ensuring the safety of Pennsylvanians who rely on those licenses and those licensed professionals. But prior to signing Act 4041, it was a real burden for people who were coming into Pennsylvania with licenses from out of state. Each license had different requirements that applicants had to meet. And for some, this meant that even though they were licensed and they were practicing in another state with similar requirements, they'd have to start all over again when they got to Pennsylvania. This was exceptionally, especially burdensome for military spouses who needed to move frequently. I mean, our National Guard, Pennsylvania, I think is one of the largest, third largest National Guard in the United States. And we had people moving back and forth across state borders all the time. And it was really tough for them, this lack of portability. So under the new law, all licensing boards and commissions in Pennsylvania are required to issue licenses, certificates, registrations, or permits by endorsement to new applicants who were previously licensed in another state, so long as they meet certain qualifications. And among those in Pennsylvania was the qualifications for licensing in those other states had to be equal to, or the standards had to be stricter than those in Pennsylvania. The law also allows for provisional licenses to be provided while applicants work to finalize outstanding requirements. In the years since the law went into effect, 75 individuals have received a license through this process, and 260 provisional licenses have been granted. But there's more. Licensure reform is at its core about ensuring access to opportunity. Reforms that improve access to opportunity are an important part of the fight against systemic inequality. And that's why this past July 1st, I signed Act 53 of 2020, which removes outdated licensing barriers so that skilled workers with criminal records can get a second chance and start good careers. Again, these are jobs bills. These are bills that make it easier for people to actually get to work in our economy and free us of any obligation to try to support them. They do this themselves. Boards in Pennsylvania can no longer use a person's criminal history from this point on to deny them a license unless their criminal history directly relates to the occupation in which they're seeking licensure. And we're being reasonable here. Each application needs to be individually considered based on the offense and the amount of time that has passed and any personal progress and training the applicant has made before a license can be denied. Notably, the law also allows individuals to seek preliminary decisions to determine whether their criminal history would prevent them from being licensed before they put time and resources into training and education. I'm going to give them a heads up. And it also creates a temporary license for barbers and cosmetologists who received training while they were in a correctional facility and would otherwise be denied a license. This is a step toward their permanent license, the training they received while they were in prison. Occupational licensure reform is a common sense way to allow people to pursue the American dream and build a better life. That's important everywhere, certainly important in Pennsylvania. As I said, it turns out this is a jobs bill. And in the wake of COVID-19, it's more important than ever that we continue to advocate for reforms that will help hardworking Americans, in my case, Pennsylvanians, to put their skills to work. We need this. This is really important. So thank you very much. And now, Laura, let me turn it back to you.